Hello, welcome back. We've got Skeeter, Mama's little kisser. And he's my little friend today. He's the guest star. And what I wanted to talk to you today about was having no regrets. And this channel is trying to help people that have been sexually abused or traumatized in their life, and to give them encouragement and tips and tricks to help them feel so much better. So in group with Dr. Nash, he taught us to live our life with no regrets. And as you know from seeing earlier videos, my mom was paranoid schizophrenic, and she abused me and traumatized me, but I loved her so much. And I always wanted to help her, but I didn't know how. Just talking with her scared me because she would say such crazy things. But when she did have to go to the hospital and have her appendix out, I contacted a psychiatrist that went in to just talk with her and do a diagnosis for me. And he came back out and said she's delusional, she's psychotic, and most likely she's paranoid schizophrenic. Well, that's the same term I had come up with in the 12th grade in my health class. We were studying mental illnesses, and when we came to that specific diagnosis, it was like a picture of my mom was under those terms. And she always had to have all these locks on the doors, and she thought that people were looking at her through the TV, and the heat ducts and the phones were tapped and all these sorts of things. And so I asked back to the doctor again. I asked him, is there anything that we can do for Mom? She was probably in her late 60s, mid 60s. And he said, well, there's medication, but I don't think that she would take it regularly. And there's not really much that we can do for her because it's pretty bad. And in doing this, I was just trying to, when she passed away, I didn't want to look back and say, I should have done this and this and this and this. I was trying to get all my ducks in a row, that I had done everything I could for Mom the best way that I could, so there would be no regrets. And with my dad, I did have him come in to Dr. Nash's office. And I had first written him a letter telling him about the abuse that I remembered. He was furious. And he did agree to go. He came in, and before he even sat down, he said to Dr. Nash, she needs drugs, lots and lots of drugs, because there's a lot of things wrong with her. And I just sat and listened. And I tried to say words that would calm him, because I wanted Dr. Nash to kind of get a chance to meet him and see what he was like, because he had been working with me now for 2 years regarding sexual abuse in my home, regarding Mom and Dad. And I said, thank you, Dad, I love you very much, and I'm so glad that you came, and so we could just talk about a few things. And he said, if I ever did anything I don't remember. I says, okay. But I'm glad that you still did come, because I needed you to come. And Dr. Nash spoke up then. And he says, Mr. Siebold, Marilyn doesn't need drugs. She doesn't need anything like that. She is doing so well from counseling. And it was like, yes, Dr. Nash, somebody finally stood up for me in my life. I don't think anybody ever had. And he was just saying one thing after another, how well I was doing. And I didn't need drugs. And it was more things in my life that when he passed, when my mom passed, I had done what I needed to do for myself. And in preparation for this meeting with my dad, Dr. Nash says, do not have any expectations regarding what he says or does. Don't expect anything at all. Don't get your heart set on he's going to confess, he's going to say he's sorry, he wishes he never did that. He says, don't do it, because I don't want you to be let down. Just do this for yourself. Do what you need to do for yourself. And when my dad was done, he probably stayed 15 minutes, and then he was gone. And Dr. Nash said, he seemed very odd. And I guess he was caught, you know. He lived by his rules of do whatever you want, just don't get caught. And he had been caught, and the truth came out. But that was for me. That was for my life. And so, whatever you need to do, just deal with it before it's too late, and have supporting people around you to help you. Make a plan. We planned for this event with my dad for weeks. And I was so nervous having to do it, but I was okay. It was good to have my counselor there with me. The other thing I wanted to talk about was perfectionism. A lot of people that have been abused are perfectionists. They want their hair and makeup to be just right, their clothes just right, their house just right, everything perfect. And it takes a lot of energy to do that, and can make you anxious when things aren't just right. And Dr. Nash taught us. He said, you know, there isn't anything you can do right. There's always going to be a tangle in your hair. You can't brush your teeth perfectly. He says, in fact, when you go home today, look at a picture that's perfectly straight and tilt it just a little bit. And he says, Marilyn, I'm sure your dining room tables or chairs are all perfectly lined up. Go home and just kind of tilt each one just a little bit so it's not perfect. And just know that you will never achieve perfection, so don't try. Stop trying. Just do the best you can, and then you just kind of walk away. You don't spend all your energy in perfectionism. And that was another powerful tool for me, because I did strive to be perfect. So these are two more tips and tricks and tools to help you. This is all cognitive behavioral therapy that my psychologist used on me and the group I was in. And I hope that it helps you in your life. And I hope that you will like and subscribe and ring that notification button and keep watching. Tell your friends. Let's get better together, and we'll see you next time. God bless.